Everybody, welcome to Muscular Development and our wrap up of the Orlando Pro. Joining me with this wrap up from Orlando, actually he's from Cleveland, Ohio, but he was watching all the action today. Big Mike Cox. Mike, how are you, sir?
Fine, Ron. Thanks for having me. Phenomenal show. Phenomenal. Great show.
Very much appreciate you helping us out with this because
Oh, of course.
this is you don't get too many commentary videos like this now from people who are actually at the show. It's typically someone watching it from several states or several continents away. So you being there, as Bob Chick always says, you had to be there. It's a different perspective being, and you had good seats. I can tell by the pictures you were
Phenomenal
taking.
seats, bro.
Yeah.
Like we were like in the third row. Third row
Wow.
behind the judges. Excellent seats.
Yeah.
The thing about the show too, though, is the lighting was phenomenal. Like it was so good. Like, these guys were sweating really bad this morning, but the lighting was great. The quality of all these guys was fantastic. This was probably one of the deepest shows we may have had all year, with as far as condition, shape, everything. These guys were phenomenal. Posing was great. Obviously, Hassan, like you said, you got to be there to see this guy.
Yeah.
He was fuller than Puerto Rico, but he's so big. His legs are just you stare at his legs and you glance up and you see the dense chest, the shoulders, the arms. He's not the widest guy, obviously, but what he brought was a little bit fuller than Puerto Rico. I thought he did fade a little bit towards the other prejudging, but tonight I don't know what he ate or what he didn't eat. He came back tonight, man, and he locked it down. And his posing, he's so confident. His level from last year to this year, it just in his demeanor, his posing a lot better. But he just presents himself as a champion, as a winner now, as opposed to last year, third place, fourth place.
Crap
If only
video.
this guy was shredded. Well, if only happened this year.
Yeah.
And listen, man, he's got Olympian muscle. That's what separates him from these guys. He's got Olympian level muscle, and now he's got AJ Sims Olympian level condition.
Yeah.
You just hope he holds it to December, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, this is 2 weeks apart. People speculated, oh, maybe he won't be able to hold his peak. He'll fade. He'll spill over, something like that. But so far, so good. I mean, you weren't in Puerto Rico, but based on the photos, you say conditioning was as good or maybe better.
It was as good. It was a fuller look. Remember in Puerto Rico, he was a little flat. The pop wasn't there. This time that pop was there. The fullness in his chest was a lot better than Puerto Rico. The glutes were maybe a little smoothed out a little bit. Maybe some of the fullness went to the glutes and the hands weren't as crisp. But he has so much dense muscle. And what's funny is when they were out there together, him and Presti were together, you were looking at Presti's upper body and Hassan's legs. You know what I mean? So it was
what I'm looking at right
both
now on the
phenomenal.
screen. So we're looking at the first call out, guys. This is the rear delt bicep. I think that's Max Charles on the left, right?
Yeah.
So Max Charles, Hassan Mostafa, Phil Clayhar, and of course Andrea Presti, who's been having a great season so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what first impression, did you know Hassan's got this and it's going to be a fight for second and third, or did you think Presti or someone else was going to give him a real run?
When they first walked out, I said, it's done, it's a wrap. But then Presti was the last guy out. And when he came out, his upper body is just so, he's like a classic physique guy in a 260-pound body.
Yeah, look at the width on that rear double
His
bicep.
legs were just a little bit bigger. This guy would be hard to beat, but he was harder than he was a couple weeks ago as well. All the glutes were in. He was very grainy. Grainy look where Mustafa didn't have that kind of grainier look. But Hassan just he had it, right? We know when we go to a show, we know who's going to kind of be first, who's going to be second, right? Like I said, Presti came back better tonight too, man.
Yeah, wow.
And this guy can put his ass off, right? Kind of Dennis Wolf type, very dramatic, slow. Everything he didn't move when he posed. Manny even pointed out, she's like, he's not even breathing. I think he was that good in his posing. But you knew Hassan was going to take the show. It was his show to lose, and he did just enough, especially tonight, to come back better than he was. So he was the rightful winner.
I want to run it down because I haven't said the placings yet. So obviously Hassan Mostafa won. That's the second pro win in 2 weeks. Second place, Andrea Presti from Italy. Third place, Florida's own Phil Clayhar. Fourth place, Max Charles. And fifth place, Tonio Burton. So right now we're looking at a judging comparison. Tonio there on the left. Now, Tonio was a 212 very briefly just last year. 2 shows, came back this season. Was Cali Pro, I think he was third.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And man, I'm looking at fifth place here, but I don't know. Do you think he could have been better than fifth? He looked damn good in some shots I saw.
He looked phenomenal. Again, tonight he was way better than this morning. A gentleman in front of me said the same thing. He was like, he didn't show that this morning. But he's I don't want to say dexterous in the roundness of his body. He's complete from head to toe, but he's just smaller. Right. It's just, you're going against, a good big guy's gonna beat a good little guy any day. Andy said it. We heard that in the 80s. And he's very good. He just needs more size, which I think he can hold on his frame without blowing out his physique. His abs are in. It's crazy, dude. His quads are just like Dennis Wolf, that bubbly, round outer. Yeah, man. It just, he flows really well. My only knock, and this is, like you said, nitpicking, is he's got to slow his posing down. He's got so much to show. This dude should milk it for every second he's out there, because he's got a hell of a physique. His delts just hang, like they just hang. So I don't know how close he is to 212, but I don't know. When he sucked down last year to Olympia, he may have lost a little bit. This is a better look for him, but dude, if he could bring this to 212, that would be kind of scary.
Would you rather see him cut down but back to 212, or would you rather see him take a little time and put a few more pounds of tissue on?
The selfish me says take your time off, come back huge. But competitively, if this guy, Lunsford is kind of like has carved his niche out, as we know, but he can definitely stand next to Clarita. He wouldn't look out of place next to Clarita because he's bigger. He's a bigger Sean, right? And this physique that he presented tonight, this is a scary physique, man. Like, this guy is going to be good. But I think if he takes some time off, come back, maybe like, Indy again, maybe New York again, shut it down for the year, because he's got, there's nothing missing. You know what I mean? Just as long as he keeps that waist tight and when he poses, he's got to remember to suck that waist in, because even those transition poses, we're all looking. Even Manny said he's not sucking his stomach in, so you got to keep that tight. But the sky's the limit for this guy, man.
Yeah, I think he should take some, this is selfish me too. I think he should take some time off because he's got that round bubbly muscle that it's rare. Not that many of the competitors have it. And I'd love to see him with another 6 to 8 pounds. I don't think that's being too much to ask, with even a little even tighter condition. And that would be just a deadly package. That would be winning a lot of smaller shows fairly easily, I think.
6 pounds on that physique would look very good. He doesn't need to be 15, 20 pounds heavier. And that's not realistic. You know what I mean? But even like 6 to 8, watch out, bro. It's even, he's not that tall, but 6, 8 pounds. Yeah. Dude's killing it, man.
Well,
killing it.
If both you and Giles mention his name in the same sentence as Dexter Jackson, that tells you this kid's got a future for sure.
Oh, he's bright future. Really bright future. I love his physique.
Phil Clayhar, I was really rooting for him. I wanted him to win this show. Compare this look, because I know you were in Tampa last year with me when you took second to Ian, right?
Yep. Second place.
How'd you compare that Phil to today's Phil?
A lot better. It was better than Tampa, better than Boston. It wasn't Dallas. Like, that was a special look. Yeah. But it was better than we done earlier this year. He was a little flat this morning, and again, whatever concoction he had, whatever magic he did, the quads were popping around, the abs were full. It was this close to Dallas. He looked great tonight. I think he was fighting for top 5 this morning. He wasn't, and you can see it in his face too. He wasn't as confident as he was tonight. Tonight, that old Phil was there. That, I'm here, and look at me, I'm here, right? Yeah. But he's getting it down. He just has to come in, for prejudging with that full look. And we've both done this before, so you don't want to eat too much. You don't want to spill over. Right. You know what I mean? And so I get it. But this man, he's the new Mr. Saturday Night, bro. I've crowned him. He's taking Phil's title. He is Phil. But this is the new Mr. Saturday Night, because he looked great. And the back double bicep was good. I think maybe Max might have been ahead of him this morning, from where with the way the comparisons were going. But tonight you can deny him, man. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And when he looks like that, though, it's just his whole demeanor. When he's on stage, is giving it all. And he's a nice guy, man. You root for Phil. He's an old guy like us, man.
Oh, I know. He's just turned 49.
Yeah.
Love him and his wife Patty. They're at a lot of the shows, and you know, when they're not competing, they're always so supportive of everyone else, and just good people.
Yeah, very good guy.
Kind of like Mike and Mandy.
Like Mike and Mandy.
A very
You laughed.
Some of the best people you'll ever meet. So Presti, man, Andrea Presti, I'm so impressed with him, and now it's killing me that his legs don't have a little more volume and sweep to them, because if they did, my God, this guy would be unstoppable.
Dude, if he had legs, he'd be lights out, because he's a freak, right? But he's kind of a pretty freak. The waist is small. The front double bicep, the laps literally drop
his back
from his armpits, dude. His back.
I didn't think anybody would have a back like Phil. This guy's got a damn good back.
Phenomenal back, and he's wide. So when he comes out and he hits that front, relax, your eyes are just naturally drawn to him. He's got that X frame. Like you said, the legs, they're not weak. It's just his upper body's so good.
He's so wide, his shoulders, lats.
He's got to pound those to get that leg size up. But he was hard, man. Like, he was grainy as hell. Like, the glutes were all feathered in, hamstrings. It was a great package. It's probably maybe his best package to date, I would say. I thought, listen, tonight, if he would have won, I wouldn't have complained at all. I would have been okay with him winning the show. But but he's very. I want to see him next to some bigger guys on the Olympia stage. Hopefully, he qualifies on points. Yeah. But you want to see him up there next to Blessing. You know, I think he stands, because we saw him in New York. This Presti against Blessing in New York, it may have been a different outcome. Wow. So I want to see him next to Blessing, next to those guys. But I'm not sure if he's done for the year, but he looks cartoonish.
He's got to have enough points now, because he was 4 shows. I think he was top 4.
He should be up there close to like Kluko, I think. Good points.
So, who would you say was in the best condition? I saw some pictures of the new guy out of Utah. He's not new, but he's new to the pro scene. It's only the second pro show. Jonas Jaitress, the guy I had on Ronline a couple of days ago.
Dude, Jonas was insane. He's that old school brainy look to him. Like, he just trains hard as hell and diets on tuna and green beans. That kind of like look to him. Yeah. But he was pushing for that top spot, because they called him out tonight. This morning he was good too. Like, I think he may have been a little overlooked this morning, because if they didn't him next to Max, he outconditioned Max. Like, he outconditioned Max really good. You know, it wasn't. So I think he may have gotten overlooked. But tonight he presented himself well, dude. He had those really deep cuts, like real deep, hard. Like, I'm a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? Just old school. Like, he was very, very impressive. Even a couple guys around me mentioned how good he was. But in this lineup, he maybe didn't have a bigger. I don't. You know what it is. You know what I mean.
It wasn't the toughest show. I get it. Yeah, I mean.
Right.
We need to see him up against a little tougher competition.
Right. Exactly. But he held his own, man. Like, when he walked out, you were like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And people didn't really know until tonight, when they loved him. Like, great condition. He's not missing anything. It's just doing more. You got to compete more. Get his face out there. Got to see his face more. He'll be rewarded eventually. I love his look.
Speaking of competing a lot, I think we got to give a special mention to Max Charles, because I think this is like his 5th or 6th show of the season.
And Max was Max, man. He wasn't out. He was in shape. And Max is that consistent, 3rd, 4th, 5th place guy, to where end of the year there he's on the Olympic stage again. Yeah. But it takes a toll on your body. You almost want to see him. I wish he could get a really good look that first show of the year when he's fresh, and then maybe shut it down. So we can see his true potential, what Max really has in store, instead of having to compete, and by December, man. Like, I'm sure he'll probably be in Tampa.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Maybe Texas. We don't know, but I mean, Tampa's 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
So but he has that most muscular and those crazy wide shoulders, those arms. His legs aren't bad. His legs aren't bad, right?
It's similar to Presti. He's so wide. Max, if you ever stood next to this guy, my goodness.
Yeah.
Shoulders in the back on him. He's like a jet.
It's insane, man. It's just, listen, we say these guys aren't as good, but competitive, man. Like it's not 94, but these guys are very competitive, especially with the newer face versus Presti coming into it, and Antonio taking that. So it's a lot of fresh blood, you know what I mean? And once Lunsford goes to the open, it's just retreat for man. You know, it cycles. You know what I mean? Every time it cycles, older guys, newer guys, we're in a good spot.
Yeah, bodybuilding is alive and well. It's in no danger, guys.
Oh, yeah.
No,
we're good.
So
we're in good hands, I think.
Looking at Hassan now, I mean, this is the Hassan we've been waiting to see for a few years now. I believe we were both there in 2018 Tampa. I think that's the show we both saw him for the first time. So much potential. And then show after show after show, he'd be like at 85%. Like, this guy ever came in ripped. So we got that. How much fuller do you think he needs to be realistic? Let's say we're going to do it by body weight, because I know he told me he was like 238 at Puerto Rico. So he's probably somewhere around there, give or take a couple pounds. If that condition represents, you know, that's what he looks like at 238, 240, what would you like to see him at the Olympia if it's possible to hold that same level of condition? Obviously, you can't be 20 pounds heavier like that. But
even 4 or 5 pounds of fullness to this guy it'd be a lot. And with that same condition, you're looking at a guy, he's going to be, I want to see him next to Bonik with this kind of condition. You know, what he looks like next to Bonik, maybe what he looks like next to Ian, Justin. You kind of see what he looks like next to those guys and how he fares up. But you're even a 3 or 4 pound difference, because you can't, he's got that muscle, right? You know, and he's finding that balance between that Puerto Rico and here. You know, maybe if he does the Arnold Classic and overseas in England, we'll see a different look. But you can't ignore him because he's got muscle. He's got a back. He's got ripped glutes now, striated quads, big arms. It's not the widest, but it's a muscle show, man. Like, you know, narrow guys do okay. Rich Gaspari did okay, right?
Yeah.
So
it's someone just posed the question: can Hassan place top 5 at the Olympia? Top 5 is very crowded.
Yeah.
Let's look at last year's top 5. This is who we would have to beat. One of these people, Big Ramy. No, you're not going to beat Big Ramy. Brandon Curry. Brandon's on another level. Third place was Hadi, right?
Hadi Chupin, yeah, third.
Chupin. Then fourth place was Hunter Labrada. Fifth place, Nick Walker. I can't remember who was 6th. Can you?
Bonak was 6.
Bonak was 6. I mean, that's a stack. That is a tough top 6 to try to crack.
That's a tough thing. You're going to qualify. Qualify. It's a lot of guys up. It's loaded. Yeah. So it's going to see, but anything can happen.
So our Stav just asked, do you think Phil will qualify? Yeah, of course. He'll keep going. Phil's not.
Yeah.
He's a juggernaut. He's just going to keep going and going until he gets it.
He gets better the more he shows he does.
Natalie, that's right. Natalia Coelho in the chat, everybody. We love having her as part of it. She's there on scene, I believe. Yeah. I think Phil will qualify for sure. He'll be at Tampa. He'll probably do, you know, he'll do whatever it takes to get to that Olympia stage. He wants it badly. So, great question. What do you think? Okay, right. So our stuff all said it's great when a new coach finds a way to make it happen. Hope to see an AJ interview. Oh, AJ Sims, I don't think does interviews. Have you ever seen one? Oh, yeah, Mike's going. Mike, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we dropped just for a second. So again, guys, the top 5 was Hassan Mostafa, Andrea Presti, Phil Clayhar, Max Charles, Tonio Burton. Bodybuilding News Network, Tampa, and probably Texas. He's talking about shows Phil Clayhar's likely to do. I agree with that.
He has a better show. I was with him. He's a nice. I want to see him there because he works hard. He's improved so much over the past couple of years, dude. Like, it's from where he came from to now. It'd be a good story to see.
Wow. Someone else. Well, this is kind of we're gonna have to debate this one. Bar Explorer B says, talking about Hassan, that extra pound should go onto Hassan's arms, which are glaringly weak compared to the rest of his phenomenal body. I would not agree with that. I think he's got great arms.
He's got crazy arms, man. His arms are weak. No.
No.
He's not missing anything.
No.
You know, he's not missing any body parts.
He's like one of those bulls, those myostatin bulls. He's just friggin'
And he's got calves too. Just loaded with he's a little freak. And this is a freak. We love the freak show.
Jen, if you can hear me, could we get that video up one last time? Sure. Okay. So guys, this was first call out we're going to take a look at. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so there's a little delay on my end. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, that was from Hassan's Instagram. That was the first call out.
Video.
And what a lineup. I mean, everybody brought the condition. Nobody was out of shape.
No.
And yeah.
No. I mean, AJ, whatever AJ's doing with Hassan, working well.
Working well. Yeah.
You know, whatever. You know, just I'm not sure what had them do it, but they found a formula.
Yeah.
You know, and it's commendable that he's dieting this all. He's competing more shows. Yeah. Like they used to. He's competing, making money. You know, his job.
Yeah, that's there was some argument like he shouldn't be competing. He's got his Olympia qualification, but that's something. If you said that to the guys back in the '90s, they would have laughed at you. Like, okay, I got my Olympia qualification. I'm not going to do any more shows to Olympia. No, man, this is your job. You're a professional athlete. Do the shows. If they can't beat you, oh well. They weren't good enough to beat you.
No, like it's competition. You know what I mean? You got to do it. If you're in shape, you're in shape. Jump in and do it. You know.
Yeah, I have one. I was watching some videos today, and there was one speculating that Ian Valliere should have done this because he's in Florida. It's only 2 weeks away from the Vancouver show that he was prepping for anyway. Or was it 3 weeks? Whatever it is. Yeah. How do you think the Ian that was winning Tampa and Texas last year would have fared against this Hassan Mostafa?
It would have been a matchup. Ian in Texas, dude, he was lights out, bro. That was some crazy condition. It would be a battle. I would think maybe his shape's so prettier. That may give him a little edge, but it wouldn't be a cakewalk. It would not be a cakewalk at all. But Ian, he got big. He's doing business, man. He's getting bigger. He knows to be in condition. So it wouldn't shock me if he did Tampa and Vancouver, because in Texas he gets better every show like we did last year. Yeah. So but I don't doubt he's going to win Vancouver. I think Antoine is doing that as well. I'm sure that's what I heard Antoine doing it too. But Ian's getting to that next level of where he's going to be pushing that top 5 to be in that top 5 going forward. So he's just taking a lot of strides this year in his physique.
Someone just asked about Jason Lowe, and I think that's worth bringing up because this is first time he's coming up from 212. He started out as classic physique pro, and I think it was only a matter of it's a few extra pounds, but I think it made a big difference on him. I saw some shots like the closed shots, like the most muscular. He was definitely thicker, significantly thicker.
He's not a shape either. Like he was remember a couple years ago in Tampa, he was shredded and great. He looked great this year at the show. It's just he needs a lot of size compared. Like Rashid's just like ungodly. Hassan, they're just bigger, but he's not out of place, right? I didn't think he was out of place in the show at all. It's not like he was like, oh, Jason, you just didn't go back to 212. It's like, man, you belong. You didn't look out of place. But when you're that conditioned as he was, you don't look out of place. Even the guys are bigger. Conditioned guys always going to like hold his own. He's going to look good. You know what I mean? And if the glutes were in, abs were created, chest was the extra weight did him, man. It's just got to keep progressing, getting bigger and bigger. And I think, in a little bit of time, he'll be placed in top 3, like maybe this show, maybe at Tampa, but he's just got to keep getting bigger and filling his frame out. which is, you know, it sounds easy to do. Like we sit here and say, hey, train my dude, you know. So
yeah, I love his physique. I think he looks better even now. I mean, condition. I've seen him in slightly better condition,
yeah,
but man, with all this new tissue, I think he did a great job.
yeah, he did a phenomenal job.
If we want to address all these things, Hassan will smoke Valier. I don't know about that. I don't think either one of them would smoke the other one. I think it'd be a battle. It wouldn't. No one.
Whoever's better than that day.
Joseph Abrams says, honestly, Hassan in shredded condition could beat Rami out of condition. Their physiques are similar, not really. And Hassan is actually more balanced. Long shot could happen. No, because Rami's got those crazy wide shoulders and narrow hips, flaring. You know, Hassan's got the thighs too, but Hassan doesn't have that crazy X frame that someone like a Rami has. That's all.
Rami got that thigh, right?
Yeah.
It's not. Anyway, he's got an X frame, and he's. When we're talking about Rami and Hadi and those guys, that's a different ball game, right? That's the right. When you talk about those two, you know, it's gonna be hard. Maybe Nick maybe in that conversation right now. Hunter maybe not. I'm not a Hunter bandwagon. Some guys are. Nick spoken about it, but he's got a physique, but he's not in that. It's not there yet.
All right. Well, we're losing the Wi-Fi a little bit over there, so I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Want to give you guys a rundown of the top 5 one last time. First place, Hassan Mostafa. Congratulations. Second place, Andrea Presti from Italy. Third place, Phil Clayhar. Fourth place, Max Charles. Rounding out top 5, Tonio Burton. Congratulations to this lineup. Great. And thank you so much, Big Mike Cox, for giving us a rundown from the third row. So much better than just watching things on a phone or a computer. Cool. All right, guys. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate your viewership. Please subscribe if you're not already. Hit the little notification bell so you know when we do the new videos. And that's it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. We'll see you next time.